Ops means operation. Op means operation. Okay. Okay, understood? So what does mean DevOps? The simple meaning, DevOps is a culture. DevOps is a culture. How do you develop the software? Culture, process, plus tools that helps to team, that helps to build the project, that builds to build the software project. So what is the main motto of the DevOps is to build the software. To build the software, okay, to test it,
Brother, I
deploy it.
can't see your screen, by the way.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Here, so what is the DevOps? DevOps is a culture. It is a culture or a process and tools. It is a combination of nothing but it's a culture, process, a tools to deploy or to run a software, to build a software, to build a software. With the help of the DevOps, we can build the software, we can test the software, deploy it, and monitor it and improve it. Okay. What happens? Why it is DevOps is important? Before going to know about why DevOps is important. Okay, why you know go for the DevOps important? Before DevOps, traditional model, first developer write down a code, maybe any code. It may be Python code, it may be Java code, it may be .NET code. Then after that, they will hand over once the developer returns the code, everything, and he will hand over to a team manager or a project manager. Then all this code is combined or integrated each other. Okay, combined, integrated each combined together. Then they'll give to the testing team. Okay, so once the code is written, they call the testing team. We have written a code. Please check to find out bugs. Anything is there. Then it will goes to the testing team.
Okay.
They'll then goes to the testing team, and testing team will check and find out the bugs, and they do the static code analysis or dynamic code analysis. After that, they finding the
Okay.
bug and everything issues. Then after then everything is good, then they will hand over to the operations team. They'll hand over to the operations team, ops. Okay, this
Yeah.
operations team will deploy the manually. Here, every
Okay.
time, whenever write down the code, they need to inform to the next team. Okay, they need to inform the next team. Okay,
Next.
understood?
Yeah.
Next team. Everything is the manual. Suppose having a okay. So once you written a code, you need to convey the message that we have written a code. Please test this code. We need to convey the message to the testing team. Then after the testing, then after that go to the operations team. Then they will do the deployment manually. Again, the code is
Okay.
changed. They add the new feature. Again, they add the new feature. They add the new features. Okay, there is one version. There is one code is running. That is another application is running. They add extra features. They added extra features. Then again they integrate the code and they need to add the previous code and new code. Then again need to like inform the testing team. Again the testing team and developing team both they inform the production team, nothing but a operations team. Again they will deploy.
Okay.
Everything is here on the
Okay.
manually. Everything is the manually. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is there
Yeah.
manually. So in traditional model, it takes lot of time. Lot of time. Okay, traditional model generally this is what is the lot of time? The deployment takes weeks and months. What happened here? Deployment takes weeks and month. In which
Mm-hmm.
one? Traditional model. The way how you deploy the software without DevOps. Okay, and manual
Mm-hmm.
errors will be there. There are a lot of errors are there. Maybe in error, maybe in testing team, and maybe the errors will be there. Another thing is there. Another thing is there. There is environment mismatch. What is environment mismatch? Like when I write a code, so there is a Java developer has written a code. He was written a code in Java 11. Okay, but thing is there,
Mm-hmm.
he is written a code in Java 11. But doesn't this operations team they had installed to run this Java application? They installed Java 17. There is mismatch is there because the programmer has written the Java 11, but the operations team installed Java 17. When they try to install run the software in the production server, they will get error. They will get a error because the
Okay.
programmer had written in 11 Java 11, whereas in operations team had installed Java 17. There is compatibility issues there. Okay, then the operations team blame the programmer that you have written a wrong code. Okay, it is not working properly, At the same time, reciprocally, then programmer also you don't know anything how to install, like both blame each other, both blame each other, both blame each other, because they're having compatibility issues there. Okay, understood.
Mm-hmm.
There will
Mm-hmm.
be errors will be
Yeah.
there, involved mismatch will be there, involved mismatch will be there,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is the manual process. Everything is the manual process. One process, after doing one process, then you hand over to other team, they need to make a call, then this, or send an email that do we had finished this one, do next thing, that every team needs to be informed to the next team. Everything here the manually. Okay, everything is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
manually in which one traditional method. In generally,
Yeah.
before DevOps in traditional method, to run and deploy a software, add a new feature, it takes so many weeks and times, months, so many weeks and months.
Okay.
Okay, lot of
Mm-hmm.
time is there. Suppose I had update is there, so it takes lot of time to update, like maybe 6 months, like 3 months, like more time is there. Okay, before the DevOps. Okay, now
Yeah.
here, after DevOps, the thing, what are the thing is there? How you build a code, you write a code, you build a code, you test a code, you deploy a code, you monitor code. Here, everything will be the automation. Okay, everything will be automation. Okay, everything is automated.
Combination. Yeah.
So whenever the code is pushed into the repository, like a GitHub or maybe Bitbucket or anything, once the code is pushed to the repository, and the build, test, package, deploy, monitoring will be the automation. Will be the automation.
Combination. Yeah.
Everything is the automation. You don't need to inform that the code is there. You don't need to tell that this other team is there. Suppose I added a new feature to the old code, you don't need to inform, like previous
Mm-hmm.
thing is there, you need to inform the team, okay, whether testing team and operations team, but you don't need to inform. Here we had by using the tools, there are tools will automatically detect the change of the code, and automatically it will build, test, and deploy and monitor. Okay,
Okay.
understood.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to have,
Yeah.
like previously the programmer need to convey the message that we had completed a code. Please check the code, and after that they'll check the code. They will build. Here you don't need to do that. You don't need to do it. Automatically, whenever the code is changes, the tools will detect that there is a change is there. Again it will build, test, and deploy and monitor. Understood? Understood?
Yeah.
So it will be
Mm-hmm.
automated. One time, first single time only we create a pipeline. If you do changes, then automatically it will deploy. You don't need to go and manually. Again, we don't need to integrate. Previously, the old code need to be integrate with the new code, but you don't need to do like that right now. So after the DevOps, automatic integration, automatically build, automatically test, and automatically deploy. Okay, it will done
Okay.
within the minutes.
Yeah.
It will done in the within the minutes.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
here,
Yeah.
what is my DevOps like life cycle here? So when you develop a, okay, suppose when you develop a any software like a life cycle like SDLC. What is my SDLC? Software development life cycle. Software.
Okay. Development life cycle.
So what is my software development life cycle? This software development life cycle have a multiple stages of how you build the software. How you build the software. Okay.
Software.
What are the
Yeah.
software
Mm-hmm.
life cycle stages are? The first stage is the planning. Okay. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are a suppose an IT company is there. When IT company is there, now suppose think like that. There is an e-commerce company, Walmart company there. They want to build their application,
Mm-hmm.
mobile application or web application. Understood? So they won't do
Yeah.
like one, whether they build their own app, they don't have like that. It will be they will hand out to other team. Okay, they
Yeah.
generally Walmart build that app, they don't build the app. Okay, they will go for the other one. Okay, like other any IT company, they will approach like Amazon, like other company like Microsoft, like in India TCS, Infosys, like other company, they'll approach. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that is
Mm-hmm.
known as what, that is the first stage, that is the requirement stage. Okay, they will approach that requirement stage, and the requirement stage,
Mm-hmm.
and this stage what happens here in the planning stage, team decide, I want to build a software, I want to build a software for Walmart. Then the team will decide in the planning state which feature need to build and how the app look like, what are the colors we need to use, which type of tools can we use for the front end, and which programming language, whether go for, whether I can build using a Python, whether I can build the Java, whether I can build the .NET. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
understood. In
Yeah.
the planning stage, they
Mm-hmm.
will decide that which program, which coding language we can use, which SQL. Either I can use MySQL, or I can use Oracle, either I can use SQL Server Express. and which UI tools and UX team, and which UI tools you need to, whether you need to use Figma, and how the app look like, and the front end will look like, and what is the logo is there, what are the colors, everything will be decided in which stage? Planning stage. Okay.
Planning.
Right.
Yeah.
In the planning stage, and the planning state, which feature to build and what bigs need to be fixed here. What are the tools are there like Azure, Zira? What is that? Zira. Okay, Zira like Azure
Mhm.
boards, and like multiple things. They are use the dashboard to monitor. Like, so dashboard is nothing but when you build the software, which stage, suppose it is nothing but a representation. Okay, dashboard representation, how the software builds and how much we are running, that whether we are build the software like 50%. In dashboard it will show that 50% of software are built, and which team is working on the which module. This thing will can observe in the Zira. Okay, Zira is nothing but a
Yeah.
dashboard. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be Jira administrator also there. Jira administrator also there. But we don't learn any Jira. Okay. So Jira will be learned
Mm-hmm.
separately. Okay. So here in planning stage, what we do in Jira? By using the Jira dashboard, we'll assign that which module can write. Suppose I have multiple modules. Or there, module 1 can be written by some person, some X person, and module 2 written by some Y person. And module 1, what is the update status? How much code he has written? Okay, all this there in the which one? In the planning stage. In the planning
Planning.
stage. So every software development life cycle, multiple stages are there. One is the planning and requirement. Second is the coding. Okay. What is the first stage? Planning and requirement. Okay. Planning
Mm-hmm.
and we take the requirement from the client. Okay. What do you want? How the app look like? What are the features you need? You need to ask the client. Okay. Then you need to plan that which language you use, which database you use, which way you use. Then you plan. Understand? The first stage is the planning and
Mm-hmm.
requirement, and second stage is the coding. Coding. Okay. Coding. Okay. And
Yeah.
third stage
Yeah.
is the
Mm-hmm.
building. Okay. Build. Okay. And fourth stage is the test. Okay. And fifth stage is
Mm-hmm.
deploy and monitor. Fifth stage is deploy and monitor. Understood?
Mm, yeah.
So these are
Yeah.
the software development lifecycle stages. Software development like stages. In the first stage, they will go for the planning. Okay, once they are planned that we are going to choose that Python with the Oracle. Then after choosing, then go to the write on the code. The developers write on the code. Developers write on the
Write
code
down the code.
in second stage. In the second stage.
Second
So
stage.
developers write a code, maybe Java, maybe Python, maybe Node.js, maybe .NET, maybe Ruby. So it may be anything. It may be anything. It may be PHP also. It may be PHP also. Understood?
PHP.
Once they write down the
Yeah.
code, yes, once they write down the code, after planning a requirement, once they write down the code, they'll push the code into the code repository. They'll push the
Okay.
code into the code repository. Okay. So what is in repository is nothing but we keep the money in the bank. Same thing here. We keep your code in the repository. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Repository is nothing but a bank for the code. Okay. Understood. We keep
Yeah.
the code in the where
Yeah.
repository. The repository may be GitHub, maybe GitHub. It may be Bitbucket.
Mm-hmm.
It may be Gitbucket, Mercurial, like multiple
Mm-hmm.
things. Okay. The most popular is GitHub. Okay, 90% of
Okay.
people use GitHub. So it may be Gitbucket also, it may be Bitbucket also. Okay,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
code is stored in the GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, and Bitbucket. Okay, understood?
Yeah.
So this thing we'll discuss in
Mm-hmm.
future. What is my Git? What is my Git? These are the commands. Some of the commands are there. How will you read and how will you manage that? Track the code changes in the Git. Okay. So the
Mm-hmm.
first stage will do the planning and requirement. And the planning and requirement use tools like a Jira, like a Azure dashboard, like Kanban board, like multiple dashboards will use to know the status of the project. Okay, understood? Okay, understood. So
Yeah.
this one is the
Mm-hmm.
planning stage. Next is the code. So what are the code? We'll write down the code. After the planning, we written a code, and code is pushed to the like code repository like GitHub, Bitbucket, and Gitbucket. Okay. Again, the
Yeah.
third stage is the build stage. What is the build stage? The code you are written is the just a raw code. Okay. We need to
Mm-hmm.
make as a package. We need to make as
But,
a package.
but
Okay.
can you show the gate workflow one more time, brother? Scroll up a little bit. Uh, can I take? Let me just take a picture of it. One second.
Okay, you don't need to worry that I will explain you. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
you don't
Thank
need to worry, brother. That one we are not
you. Yeah.
started a
Yeah.
JIT. Okay, I just shown you that only how the JIT is the JIT workflow. Okay, we'll discuss that.
Yes.
What is my JIT workflow? How the JIT will work. So JIT one, JIT checkout,
Okay.
JIT check. I will explain. No problem that one. You don't need to worry that. Okay. So this
Okay.
I just shown the what is mean by code repository. It may be code repository, maybe GitHub, it may be Bitbucket, maybe Gitbucket. Most of the 90% people use the GitHub. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
The third thing is the build stage. What is the build stage? So here
Mm-hmm.
the code is converted to the application. Generally we write down there is a raw code. All this code is generally code. Okay, code will be add into the application. Like we want to build a house, then we'll mix what is that concrete, cement, and this what are that pebbles and everything, and we'll mix that. Then we build the block. Okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Here the code is converted into the application. The build stage what does do?
Code is converted into
Code cannot
application.
be run. Suppose your mobile phone is there, your mobile phone inside the WhatsApp application is there. Whether you are running code, you are not running code. That is a package. It is nothing but application. All this code is converted into which one?
Application.
Application. The build stage will convert into the application. The build stage will convert to the application. Understood?
Application.
The code is converted into application. If you are using Java, then we need to convert into var or jar er file. Okay? Var
Yeah.
var WAR,
Or jar.
web application
Yeah.
archive, or Java application archive, or enterprise application archive, where the code will be converted into jar or var er. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, what are the tools we use like Maven, Gradle? Okay, Maven, Gradle, like another thing is there Node.js tool. Like what is the Node.js tool? npm tool. It will convert the code. It will convert into the code. If you are using
Code.
the .NET, then we have a MS build. Suppose I want to build the project for .NET, I use the MS build. Okay. Suppose using
Okay.
the Java
Yeah.
project, then suppose you want to build the Python project, PyBuild. Huh? Whereas I want to build the project, I want to build a software, then I use for the Java is the Maven Gradle. Gradle is the old one and Maven is the new one. Okay. The Maven will convert, no problem. That Maven will be discussed later. No need to worry that. Okay. So entire
Yeah.
everything will be converted. We will explain later. What is Maven? Understood?
Yeah.
Understand? What are the build tools are there? Maven, Gradle, and MS build like PyBuild. These are all the build tools. It will convert it to the
Mm-hmm.
code into application. What is the first stage? Planning and requirement. Second stage is the code, writing a code and pushing the code to the Git repository. Then building the code by using Maven, Gradle, PyBuild, and this type of the tools. We can convert the code into the application. Understood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what is the output? Var. Okay. Var. What is your var? Web application archive. Understand?
Okay. Yeah.
So then here we go for the continuous integration. Once we build the code, we need to run the code. So where we can go for the CI tool. Okay. When the code is pushed, automatically build and automatically test. What does continuous integration tool do? What does continuous integration tool do? What is continuous integration? So here when code is pushed, okay, automatically build,
Mm-hmm.
automatically test, and automatically deploy. Understood? Not
Yeah.
deploy. CA means test. Okay. CA means what? Test. So code is build and code is test. In CA stage, what are the things done? Build and test. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Build
Yeah.
and test. When the code is pushed to the GitHub repository or Bitbucket repository or anything like Azure repos, then automatically continuous integration team detects that the code is changed. Again, it will build. Again, it will test. Automatically, you don't need to do that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So what are the continuous integration means? Like adding new features. Suppose we have created an application now, it is working properly. Then I created new features to an application. We're going to add the new features to the old application, adding a code to the old one to the new code. It is nothing but a continuous integration. We'll add features. Like when I started WhatsApp, there is only text messages there. In 2009, they started their operation. Then after that, they added a voice call. Okay. Then after that,
Yeah.
that few days after then only they added video call. There is no video call is then WhatsApp. I think you don't know that how much age you is, but I know that first time when they started WhatsApp, there is no video call is there. That time there is no video
Yes.
call is there.
Yeah.
Understood?
They added later. Yeah.
Then I add later. Then I added adding like status. Then adding the sharing the PDF. Then adding the like multiple things. Okay.
Yeah.
These are
Mm-hmm.
nothing but features. Okay.
Yeah.
The old
Mm-hmm.
application then add multiple, then one by feature there. That is nothing but continuous integration. Continuous.
Integration.
What does mean continuous integration? Means adding a new code to the old one. Will continuously add. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
this continuous integration tool do? When code is pushed, then we'll do the again build and test. Build and test. What are the tools are there? Like Jenkins, Azure DevOps pipeline. Okay. Travis. Okay. What are the
Mm-hmm.
tools are there? Azure pipelines. Okay. What are the tool? Azure DevOps. Okay. Azure DevOps. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Continuous integration. DevOps. Like I have a Travis CA. Okay. And I have
Mm-hmm.
a Git actions. What is the tool? Git actions. You heard about any Git actions?
Yes.
Git actions. These are the continuous integration tool. Okay. How the CA flows? How the CA flows? Okay. So developer
Mm-hmm.
pushes. Okay. Developer pushes the code. Then it will Jenkins will trigger build and test. Okay. Jenkins will trigger what? Build and test. If it is successful, it will success. Then it will file. It will generate the report. It is filed. Okay. Done.
Uh-huh.
Then next is the and the DevOps. Okay, DevOps. See here. What are the DevOps? Okay, what are the DevOps? Then see this. Then what happens in DevOps? We'll do the know about the containerization. What is that? Containerization. Okay, containerization. So what is meant Docker and
Okay.
containerization? So Docker is known as the containerization tool. What is a container? Container is a lightweight package that contains the application runtimes, libraries, OS dependencies. Okay. What is a container?
Uh-huh.
All are packed together. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
everything will be packed together. So,
In a container. Okay.
so what is my container? Inside the container, what does it contains? Application,
Code.
runtime, libraries, OS dependencies. OS dependencies.
Okay.
So when you run container in multiple environment, there is no compatibility issue will be there. Because they are already added the runtime, they will added the libraries, they will added the OS dependencies. When you run container, it added a container. Container, everything is added. To run application, we need some dependencies. Suppose I create an application to run application in my other laptop. We need some dependencies. We need some libraries. We need runtime. It may be different version. When you run, it may be some compatible issues that. To avoid the situation, all this together, combined together, will create a container. When you run this container, when you run this container in different environment, it runs smoothly. It may have no issue with that. Okay. So what is the done
Okay.
container?
Yeah.
So what is
It is
Docker?
a
Docker is a continuation tool. Docker is a continuation tool.
containerization.
Here, see this. Why Docker? Without Docker, it works only my computer only. I create an application. I create my application.
Okay.
It will run my computer only. It won't run in your computer. Your computer may be Mac. My computer is Windows 11, and my computer having Java 11. Your computer having Java 17. There will compatible issues will be there. Will be.
Compatibility issue.
So what are the compatible issue? Maybe your laptop having a Mac operating system. My laptop is Windows operating system and the Java also mismatch. Then what happens? When you want to run application inside your laptop, will get some error. You'll get compatible issues without Docker. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay? With Docker runs everywhere. You don't need to worry because we are already added the dependencies. We already added the libraries. We added everything. Just to run the container, when just run the image, it will automatically everything will be added. There is no compatibility issues then. Understood?
Yeah.
So that then the starting when they start the starting, I told you that there is compatible issue with Java 11, Java 17. When you create a Docker container, no need to worry that because the Docker container will run on the production. Then this automatically is there. Java 11 they added already. Understood? There is no
Okay.
compatible issue will
Yeah.
be. Okay. So what does mean Docker? Docker contains the Docker is nothing but a container orchestration tool. Anyhow, we're going to know about the Docker architecture in the future. Okay, Docker architecture in the
Okay.
future. Some of the commands they had given this, so I'll just some of the commands we're going to learn in the future. No need to worry. Okay. After building the
Okay.
Docker image, we're going to push to the Docker register like GitHub, like a GitHub. Okay, understood.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an alternative tool
Yeah.
for the Docker. Generally, Docker is a tool. There is alternative tool is in AWS. It is the ECR. What is that? ECR.
Easier.
It's that is a elastic container registry is nothing but a Docker Hub alternative. Whereas the Azure it is a ACR, Azure Container Registry. Azure Container Registry. This is
Mm-hmm.
alternative for which one? Docker Hub. Okay, Docker Hub.
Yeah.
Okay. And next thing in the DevOps, next thing is Kubernetes. What is that? Kubernetes. Kubernetes is a container
Kubernetes.
orchestration tool. Is a container
Orchestration tool.
orchestration tool. Here, if you see this image, I'll show you that. If you see the image of Docker, so what is the here? What is the Docker image here? It is look like sheep. Hmm?
Ship. Okay. Yeah.
And I'll show you another image. There is another image is there. Can you relate both? Can you relate?
Mm,
Hmm?
this
What is
looks like
this?
a ship.
Ah,
Like a ship.
yes. What is this?
It looks like a ship.
To ship to control ship, there is a wheel like this steering like you have a car
Yes,
having
steering,
steering.
steering.
This is to
Yes.
control the ship. Now you understand that
Yeah.
who will control the containers? Kubernetes.
Kubernetes. Yes.
Understand? The
Yes.
ship is there. Who will drive the ship? The pilot or the captain or commander? Commander. He will drive the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like a steering, like to control the ship. Understood? Understand?
Yeah.
The same
Mm-hmm.
thing to control the containers. We'll use which one? Kubernetes. Is that?
Kubernetes.
So that's why it is
Yeah.
known as container orchestration tool.
Mm-hmm.
Understand now?
Yeah.
Container orchestration like a manager, driver. Understood?
Yeah.
So who will manage these containers? The Kubernetes. Okay, this Kubernetes. Okay, okay. What does this
Yeah.
Kubernetes do? We're going to create a container instead of VM. We're going to create a container. These containers will run inside the Kubernetes. Run inside the.
Kubernetes.
So if any one of the containers having any issue, like any one of the container having any issue, then Kubernetes will create a new container and replace with the new container. If having you want to do the load balancing, you want to do the scaling, this all this thing managed by
Mm-hmm.
the Kubernetes. Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So no problem. If you don't understand, then I don't know, sir. I am just a layman. I don't have anything about that. You're going to learn later. No problem. Just I'm explaining what does mean Kubernetes. So what is mean Kubernetes?
Yeah.
Kubernetes is a container orchestration tool. Is it?
Okay.
Container.
Yeah.
And these are the components of the
Orchestration.
Kubernetes. Like you have a pod, deployment, service, replica, site, node, cluster. We're going to learn. You're going to learn. Okay. You're going to learn future.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Understood.
Mm-hmm.
So here, so before that, we have hectic classes, so many classes were taken for AWS and Azure. Why he had learned that
Mm-hmm.
AWS and Azure? How he relate to the DevOps.
Okay.
Hmm. We had learned everything from so many classes. I think there are around 40 to 35 to 40 classes we have taken. Okay, okay.
Yes.
So why you
Mm-hmm.
learned that so much time? Why there is any relation between DevOps and Azure cloud? Because
We when we when we push the code, it's stored in the cloud.
We can develop the project in on-premises also. Understood? There is no need cloud.
Uh-huh.
Hmm? There is no mandatory
Okay.
mean that I want to deploy in local computer. Then yes, you can do that. No problem. No issue. That your
Mm-hmm.
local data center, local servers are going to deploy. But thing is there, most of the people are doing on the cloud only instead of own data centers or on-premises data center. Okay, that's where lend
Okay.
the
Is
code.
that because of the price, brother? Is that are they doing this because the local data center is too expensive compared to cloud?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So there is no
Mm-hmm.
relation between the cloud. It is not mandatory to deploy the DevOps and you need to deploy the project and only cloud only. You can deploy in own local servers also, no issue. Okay. But thing is that
Uh-huh.
most of the 95% companies are deploying their use the cloud. That's why I learn the cloud. Understood?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
To learn the DevOps, you don't need to learn about the cloud. Understand?
Yeah.
To learn the DevOps, you don't need to learn about the cloud. You don't need any experience in the
Uh-huh.
cloud. But thing is there right now, the things are going on the cloud only. Things are going on
Uh-huh.
the cloud only.
Cloud.
So that's why we need to
Yeah.
manage on the cloud. If you don't know how to manage on the cloud, you don't know AWS, no, I don't know Azure, then how will you manage in the cloud? That's why you learn.
You.
Understand? You got it now,
Yeah.
right now?
Yes.
So there is no relation between the DevOps and cloud. Remember, most of the people have myth that no need. You don't need to know about AWS and Azure. Without knowing the AWS and Azure,
Okay.
you can run your local laptops also. Okay, local servers also. But thing
Mm-hmm.
is that right now everything is on the cloud. If everything is on the
Okay.
cloud, if you don't know the cloud, how you deploy, how you run, understand? So what
Yeah.
happens here? Most of the deployments happen on the cloud only. Brother?
So, yeah.
Cloud only. So what are the clouds are there? Amazon Web Services, Azure Azure is there, and Google Cloud is there. Hmm? So what are the services we going to learn on the Amazon? We already know the EC2 is the virtual server, S3 is the storage, RDS is the database, IAM is the security, and in AWS Kubernetes service known as the EKS, whereas in Azure it is known as the E. In AWS it is known EKS. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Whereas in the Azure it
Yeah.
is known the AKS, Azure Kubernetes service. Okay.
Okay.
Whereas in Google it is known the Google Kubernetes engine. Google
Kubernetes
Kubernetes engine.
engine.
In the AWS we will learn about EC2, S3, RDS, IAM. These are the multiple services we will learn. Okay. And
Yes.
in Azure, what are the services like Azure VM? Okay. Azure VM, Azure App Service, Azure
VM.
App Service, and Azure DevOps and Azure Kubernetes Service. These are the services provided by Azure. Okay. Next thing, we're going
Mm-hmm.
to learn about the infrastructure of the code. What is my DevOps? In the DevOps, how we do automation. Okay, these containers will be automated and do the scaling and automatically load balancer done by the Kubernetes. It is nothing but automation. If any one of the application goes down, that is nothing but application running in the container. If any one of the containers go down, what happens? Again, new container will be created by Kubernetes. You don't need to create manually. Previously, we need to create a virtual machine or a physical server manually. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
Instead of that, this is automation. Everything is automated. Even the application is created like a light virtualization, light virtual server. What is my Docker? Is nothing but a light virtual machine. It is also like a virtual machine. Okay, understood?
Yeah.
No problem. I'm going to explain
Mm-hmm.
like it. Okay, so there is automation. Another
Mm-hmm.
automation is there. Instead of creating this infrastructure manually, we're going to create a infrastructure by using code. That is nothing but infrastructure as code. So nothing but a what?
Infrastructure as code.
Code.
Infrastructure as code.
There are multiple infrastructure as code is there. Like tools are there. One is the AWS Cloud Formation, Azure Templates, Azure Biceps. Okay, Azure ARM templates,
Yeah.
ERM templates, AWS Cloud Formation, Terraform, and somewhere what Ansible. Ansible can also use it for the infrastructure as code. Somewhere what, not broader. Somewhere what. Actually, Ansible is a configuration management tool. What is that? Configuration,
Configuration management. Uh-huh.
but that can be used as a somewhere what like infrastructure as code. Okay, so these are the
Uh,
Terraform.
yeah.
uh,
We're gonna learn these more like more in depth later, right? The Terraform commands and
Yes,
everything.
yes, 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 yes,
Okay,
yes. Huh? Okay.
okay, yeah,
So these are
yeah.
the commands are there. This is the command to create an EC2 instance. This is the command to create a EC2 instance.
Okay. EC2 instance. Okay.
So this is the command to create a Terraform infrastructure tool. Okay, next is the configuration management tool. I told you that configuration management tool used to install software automatically. Tools like Ansible, Puppet, and Chef are the configuration management tool. What is the configuration management tool? I want to run a web server. Like I want to, there are 1,000 web servers are running. In that I have 1,000 servers running. I want to do restart the 1,000 servers. Then how we do? By using the like I want to install Java on the 1,000 servers. Without configuration management tool, we need to install manually every time. Go to the inside a virtual machine, then we need to do we need to install manually and we need to update. Then everything will be manually. Instead of using this, go for the Ansible. When you install the Ansible or Puppet HF, it will do the configuration management tool. At a time, you can deploy. Like I want to install in 1,000 servers Java. At a time, I can install Java on the 1,000 servers. Okay, that is known as what?
Okay.
Configuration management tool. Okay,
Management
configuration.
tool. Yeah.
Use it to install software automatically. We don't need to install like manually. Okay, what are the tools are there?
Yeah.
Ansible, Perfect, and Chef Chef. Okay, now after that
Chef.
successful Chef, CHEF,
PhD. Okay.
configuration management tool. And then
Okay.
after that, first we had in the DevOps, in the software development cycle in DevOps, by using DevOps, we had planning and requirement, build the code and test the code. Then we use the deployment tools like a CI/CD tools like a Jenkins, Azure pipelines, and like a Travis CA, like GitHub CA. Then after that, we had created a containerization. Then after that, we'll go for the infrastructure as code tool. Then we go for the last thing is the monitoring and logging. Monitoring and logging. Okay, how the
Login.
application behaves, what are they have any issues there, if any server issues there, where we can observe by using monitoring logging. After deployment, we monitor the CPU, memory, application errors, logs, and thing. Tools are like Prometheus, Grafana, ELK stack. Okay, okay. What are the
Memory.
tools?
Yeah.
Prometheus, Grafana, and ELK stack.
Promote.
Understand?
Promote. Yes. Grafana. What was the last thing with it? The two? Grafana and ELK
ELK.
stack. Okay.
Okay. So here, this is the complete real-time DevOps workflow, project flow. I want to I want to deploy a Java application. At first, the programmer write the
Mm-hmm.
code Java. Okay, what
Yeah.
happened here? The
Developer
programmer
writes the code.
and push to the
Push to
GitHub.
GitHub. Yeah.
Then
Mm-hmm.
the code will be built by the Jenkins.
Built by Jenkins. Okay.
Then it will be from by using Jenkins, the image will be created. Okay, and push to the
Yeah.
Docker Hub, and this image is run inside the Kubernetes. Image run inside the where image is run inside the Kubernetes.
Uh, inside the Kubernetes. Okay.
Kubernetes is nothing but a cluster. Inside this Kubernetes, the container will run. Okay,
Okay.
we create a container. Then this container will inside this container push to the Kubernetes. Kubernetes will take care, and Kubernetes will do the load balancing. Kubernetes do the auto scaling. Kubernetes will do the auto hailing. Okay, then the Prometheus will be monitored. These are the steps. Understood? These are the
This
steps.
is a full workflow, right?
Yes. Okay. Okay. This
Okay. Yeah.
completely fully automated. Okay.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Then, what are the DevOps engineer daily tasks? You need to write down CI/CD pipelines, manage the Docker images, create the Kubernetes deployments, monitor the application. What are the DevOps engineer daily work? You need to create a CI/CD pipelines. Write the CI/CD pipelines. Okay.
Okay.
Manage the Docker
Yeah.
images, create Kubernetes deployments, and monitor the application. Okay, and manage the cloud
Mm-hmm.
servers and fix the deployment issues. These are the things. Write a CI/CD plan, manage the Docker images, okay, and monitor application, manage cloud server, and fix the deployment issues. Okay, Understood? Understand?
Yeah.
So this thing you don't need. Okay.
Brother, can you send me this document if possible?
Okay. 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 In India, okay, you want to learn the DevOps. Like, what are the things you need to learn? Like Linux and JIT. First, we need to start with the Linux. Then we start for the JIT. Then go for the networking.
Yeah.
Then go for the Jenkins and Docker. Then Kubernetes, Cloud, and Terraform. These are the things you need to learn. Okay. Okay. These are
Okay.
the things you need to learn.
Things. Yeah.
In the DevOps, if you have at least free, it will be 4 to 6 LPA. That is a lakhs per annum. Okay. Here in lakhs, they will
Okay.
lakhs. Okay. Lakhs means like 100,000. Lakh means how much?
Yeah.
100,000.
100,000.
100,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Okay. It is in India. It is fresher is 4 to 6 LPA, and this is 2 years have a 8 to 12 LPA, and 5 years it is 15 to 12 LPA. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Understood?
Yeah.
Understand? So what are the things we're going to learn?
Yes.
Skills required are, what are the skills required? We need to learn about the Linux. We need to learn about the somewhere what like net IP address. What is means subnetting? We need to know about the cloud. We need to know about the cloud. We need to know about the Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible. These are the things we need to learn to the DevOps.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then, so there's a path is there. We're going to learn one by one. What is the path? The first thing we're going to learn about the source code management tool or version control tool. That is nothing but a JIT. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How we started the journey by starting the first here planning and here. What is the planning and planning stage? In the planning stage, we need to learn the
Mm-hmm.
Jira, hmm, or Azure
Mm-hmm.
DevOps or Azure boards. Okay, understood. Okay,
Yeah.
spelling mistake. Okay, and then we're going to run the write down the code, how we manage the code. Then we'll go for the how the build the code. Then how will you deploy the code?
Mm-hmm.
How will you manage the code? Containation orchestration tool one by one. Okay, the first tool we're going to learn about the how your source code is managed. How the source code is managed. How the
Nice. Okay.
source code is managed.
Nice.
To manage the source code, we use the tool called as a JIT. It's called as a what? JIT tool. Which
G.
one?
Mm-hmm.
Git.
G.
Sometimes it may
G.
be, I don't know how you pronounce GIT. Maybe it may be somewhere Git. Someone else like Git.
G.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
GIT. Okay.
Yeah.
GIT. Then we're going to start about the tool about the JIT tomorrow onwards. Okay. How you manage. How you manage. Okay.
You.
So
Yeah.
here JIT is nothing but a source code management tool. Brother, source code management tool.
Managing too.
Source
Yeah.
code management tool. Then we're going to learn about the build tool. Then we're going to learn about the CA tool. CA tool. Then
Mm-hmm.
we're going to learn after learning the CA tool. Then we'll go for the container tool, containerization tool like Docker. Then we're going to learn about the container orchestration tool like Kubernetes. Then we're going to learn about the infrastructure as tool like Terraform. Then we're going to learn about the
Mm-hmm.
configuration tool like a Ansible. Then we're going to learn about the like Prometheus is a monitoring tool or Nagios. It may be Prometheus or Nagios
Mm-hmm.
or any other tool to do the monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
The monitoring. This is the
Managing.
pattern. This is the path how you learn. Okay. So to start the
Yeah.
journey with the DevOps, you need to we need to be somewhere what familiar with the Linux. I think I had somewhere what we had discussed so many Linux command that is enough to learn the Linux DevOps. Okay. First
Yes.
we need to start with the
Okay.
Linux. Okay. Linux. Okay.
Okay.
It is mandatory to
Mm-hmm.
have a Linux because all these tools run on the Linux only. This Ansible and this Kubernetes and this all based on the Linux only. They are based on the Windows.
Okay.
They are based on the
Okay.
Linux. Understood? This
Mm-hmm.
Kubernetes,
Yeah.
Linux, Docker, all these tools basically they based on the Linux, not based on the Windows. Doesn't mean they don't work on Windows. They work on the Windows also, but generally it will manage on the Linux only. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. Have any doubts?
No, no doubts, but can I see you, the part where you said like the workflow for DevOps after the I think scroll down, buddy.
Yeah.
The part where you showed where the DevOps does like this
This one.
towards the bottom,
This one.
a little more up.
Okay. This one.
No, like before this, before the salary, the part where the
This
CI/CD
one.
pipeline and everything.
This one.
This one, DevOps Engineer daily work. So if I do like when I do get a job, this is what like day to day looks like, right?
Yes, yes. You need to manage this thing. Huh?
Okay. What's after fixed deployment issue? Is that the last one?
Okay.
Uh, could you scroll down just a little bit, brother?
Okay.
Fixed deploy. Okay, yes, yes. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll send to you. No problem. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Tomorrow I'll see you. We'll start with the first tool called as a JIT. Okay.
Okay, brother.
Okay.
I made my account. I have account.
Okay. No problem.
So
No problem. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Tomorrow.